are moments in a footy season that sometimes feel like turning points. Moments where one team suddenly impresses you and another one leaves you asking questions. No matter how much of the evidence has been at play, sometimes your eyes don't deceive you. And at Thursday night at the G, Hawthorn didn't just beat Collingwood, they beat them up. A statement and a wake-up call for the Pies and a warning for the rest of the competition that the Hawks aren't giving up without a fight. They led at every change, smashed them on the scoreboard, punished them physically, and did it with a blend of old-school physicality, new-age flair, and a forward line that was so tall at times it felt like a Marvel crossover. For Collingwood, it was a match that will linger. 4 losses from 5, injuries just happening, confidence wavering, and for the first time in what feels like a long time, they look rattled. This was a night where bright lights revealed everything, both teams were peaking, and one team looked vulnerable when it counted. Like and subscribe, let's get into it. "90 seconds in, bang, Jai Newcombe head on with Jeremy Howe. Eyes only for the ball from both of them, 2 heroic men, sickening. Howe laid motionless, stretched off. This wasn't just a footy clash, this was almost symbolic. Pies desperately need Jeremy Howe to stabilise that back line. They lose him within 30 seconds. And the Hawks, they were looking for blood. And that tone never really changed. Nick Watson was a menace, picking up the loose ball and dribbled one delightfully through from 35 metres. The crowd barely had time to catch his breath. The Wizard was weaving early. Hawks' toes began marking. Chol Gunston were just a pain in the arse for the Pies. Meek pushed forward. Lewis drew defenders deep. And suddenly Collingwood were under siege. Even Darcy Moore was scrambling, making some horrific defensive errors. And Hawthorn led by a goal at the break. But it felt like the script had already flipped. Quarter 2, the Hawks unleashed hell. It was a sledgehammer. 7 unanswered goals. Gunston wheeled around for one. Chol clunked contested marks. And Meek, yes, Lloyd Meek, really started to dominate and make Darcy Cameron look second-rate. He kicked 2 for the quarter. D'Ambrosio sliced through Collingwood's forward zone like a hot knife through butter. Jamie Impey was on a mission. And Newcombe, somehow back from that horrific head contact, exploding out of September. The Pies, they looked slow, they looked tired, and they looked cooked. Brody Myercheck, he gave them a flicker of hope, but it was almost sniffed out instantaneously. By half-time, the margin was well over 5 goals. The crowd was stunned. Hawks fans were in 7 heaven. And the question became, how much? Not if. Then quarter 3, this is where Sam Mitchell really gets paid his big bucks. Chol, Gunston, Deer, Meek hit the scoreboard, were dangerous. They were leading and winning every ball. Gunston, as usual, composed, accurate, and an absolute general in the forward half. Chol mixing chaos with genius, unpredictable at times, but played his part. Lewis linking up, high up the ground, dragging defenders where they don't want to be. And Deer, this guy just marks everything. And Meek, the bonus, he literally was a menace and was doing Darcy Cameron things that we praised Darcy Cameron for. He was synergetic and they were tearing Collingwood apart. Every entry looked dangerous, the rebound looked deadly, and the midfield was dominant. Newcombe, Warple, Nash, Josh Ward run rings around Penderbury, De Goey and Nick Dacos. 60 points at three-quarter time, and it should have been more. And then the final term was just really showtime for the Hawks. Gunston had kicked his 4th, Chol got his 3rd, Dylan Moore, he started to have moments, and Watson was doing whatever he needed to. He chipped a nice inside 50 and let out a big smile. The kid knows, they all do. This wasn't just a win, it was the win against a team that is hot, being the July premieres in front of a packed MCG. Finals on the line, they made the first move and said to the chasing pack, we're in pole position. They branded a game plan that was fast, bold, but more importantly, ruthlessly aggressive. Now let's talk about the Pies, because while Hawthorn were brilliant, Collingwood struggled. That's 4 losses in 5. A midfield that was horrifically beaten at the coalface. A midfield forward line that has no connection. And a defensive unit that is more fragile than the French defending the Maginot line. Jeremy Howe's early exit definitely hurt, no question. But for me now, the Pies' issues run very deep. They were second to the ball. Their transition game was stalled. Their stars were completely quelled. Nick Dacos, usually the key to everything about them. He was up there for neck massages every 5 minutes. Steel side bottoms, 350 game, just went out with a limp. Perryman, usually reliable, he was forgettable. And DeGoey, he had his moments, but he couldn't shift the momentum. Right now, the Pies are really limping with a massive target on their back and rivals licking their lips to rub salt into the wounds. The Pies have got a tough finish to the season, and honestly, this will be an eye-opener to everyone else. But this can't be about how bad the Pies were. Some team made them bad, and the Hawks have that September surge. This might say that they were one of the teams that could miss out. Now the form line says they're dangerous. 7 of the last 9. They're building a structure now. They've got their forwards back, creating mismatches, and they are a nightmare to handle. This is all happening while Will Day, arguably their best player, is missing. They're finding ways to overwhelm quality sides. Mitchell's system is humming. They play with tempo, aggression, and belief. Their ball movement is lethal and precise. Their pressure is relentless, and their spread of contributors is elite. Newcombe, 28 touches, 11 score involvements. Pure leadership, pure heart. D'Ambrosia, 24, with 6 score involvements. Impey, 25, critical link-up play. Meek, 3 goals, 7 marks. Rambustious in every sense of the word. Chaotically beautiful. And Gunston, 4 goals, 6 score involvements. And Watson, it's not just his moments, he is a pain. This is belief, it's form. And you know what? Lock them into finals. This is finals footy. Big 5 or big bluff is the big talking point. There's a temptation to dismiss it. Too many toes. People say it's a liability. Finals football requires speed, but when your toes can move and spread, can clunk and convert, it's a weapon. We've seen it with Adelaide. Hawthorn displaying these massive 5 guys. Gunston, best year for a long time. Cho, getting better every week and is reliable. Lewis is back. Meek is crashing the packs. And Dia is the chaos merchant with a license to fly. You might not need this mix every week, but I tell you what, it's going to be very hard to beat when you look at how Adelaide are going. Hawthorn deserve to be in the conversation. Let's talk about what's wrong with Collingwood. I'm not willing to hit the panic stations yet, but you have to be worried. McRae has to be worried. Midfield isn't owning the territory. The defence is leaking like a sieve, and the ball movement is static. And they have been succumbing to playing the opposition's game, not their own. Pressure is building. Injuries are mounting. And that aura that was there 8 weeks ago of invincibility has gone. They're going to make finals. But right now, they're not as scary as they were. And the cracks are appearing. There's something poetic about this game. Hawthorn's young, brash, bold, racing into finals. And Collingwood, old, tired, and now looking unsure, searching for answers. One side sprinted towards that light at the end of the tunnel. The others seemed to shrink. And finals, that will matter. This win wasn't just a boost to percentage or a ladder jump for the Hawks. This was a real exclamation mark for their season. The Hawks don't just want to play finals, they want to shake it up. With Melbourne and Brisbane still to come, their destiny is very much in their hands. And if Thursday night is anything to go by, they're ready for the moment to seize it. The Hollywood Hawks, they say. It's not just a fun nickname anymore. We're starting to get the premier. They're a serious, serious threat. So, that being said, let's open the floor. Is this the best? Do Hawthorn look better now than they did last year? And are the cracks too big for Collingwood to ignore? And are they fillable? This could be a big, big, big week ahead for the remainder of the season. Hawthorn actually look like they could be dominant, and the Pies now, questions have to be asked. Let me know your thoughts in the comment. Don't forget to smash that like button, subscribe, and buckle in, because I feel like September is going to be mental. I've been PommyInOz, and this was a warning shot that we should all take note. See you soon.